The next poem is called, What About the Losers? What about the losers? Second place or worse, far from cheers and exultations, head in hand or pacing claustrophobia. At least we played the game, so close and yet so far. If it wasn't for that hit, that swing, bad hop, bad turn, bad call, ball rolling off the fingertips, fleeting lapse in concentration, practiced my butt off, studied for years, made the right moves, met the right people, flattered, bantered, kissed their butts, did without, planned ahead. If it wasn't for contracting markets, change in habits, insufficient cash flow, someone with more contacts, friend of brothers, second cousin, old school tie, secret handshake, lies and accusations, loser, 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 failure, lemon, flopperoo. I don't want a stupid ribbon, don't want the sloppy second, second best, second hand, greasy gruel at B-list parties, legless wine, polyester fabric, cloying banquet consolations, finalist who never had a chance, blew the chance I had, never strong enough, never smart enough, didn't work enough, wasn't hungry, too small, too slow, too bored, too lazy, too distracted, too screwed up. I deserve to lose. In the corner of an empty room, a lonely man constructs his fantasy, a tree of life unfolding overhead, molting blue and silver leaves, each a coupon for woman's love, exotic travel, expensive cars, enormous houses. He reaps his slips of paper, presses them against his aging body like a multicolored blanket, then stands up naked, throws them to a rising wind, and watches as they drift and climb toward ancient burnt-out stars, scales his leafless tree, jumps into the olive ocean, swims to distant treeless coast on which crowds of people cheer for the joy of making noise. The next poem tells a story in 7 voices. And the story is of a guy named Lenny Ross. And he was a whiz kid quiz show contestant as a child in the 50s. And then he later became an advisor to Jerry Brown and held a number of academic positions. And meanwhile, he was slowly going crazy. And this is his story in 7 different voices. The Death Song of Lenny Ross. And hopefully you'll be able to see the difference between the voices. We'll try. Dow's theory analyzes market action. Fundamentals deal in corporate prospects. When stocks are good, T-bills suffer. And when the market shakes its head and shoulders, it's time to sell or buy. What a boy you are, Lenny Ross, Lenny Ross. What a genius boy you are. And why not you, Lenny? Why not you to win the 100,000 answering quiz show questions on stocks and bonds and whatever? Why not you, the youngest? At 5, you talked like Walter Lippmann. At 6, you built a TV by yourself. What a boy you are, Lenny. What a genius boy you are. Our tort system from English common law changes many features of that older lands. The principle's the same, that assets yield to no man save one who has them. Eschewing class, we're guided by associations, men maintaining liberty by joining others openly, as Tocqueville described, recalling Edmund Burke. He grasped all aspects of the reading, wrestling levels none of us had thought about, as we sat silent listening to his playfulness, with concepts none of us had heard before, and yet so kind he was to all of us, his elders, so patient telling us his thoughts. What a mind he had, Lenny Ross, and what a knowledge of the law. A head that talks, an academic sideman. I know that's what they think of me. Great idea, Lenny. What a brain. I want to be a man of action, commanding heads of state. I want to run for president one day. I have a master plan. It's all up here. Slow down, Lenny Ross. Finish one thing. I told him that 1,000 times at least, then watched him stagger back and forth among his shriveled plants and dusty chairs, popping frozen peas at open mouth and throwing out ideas like cannon shot. And it was up to me to understand that he had skipped ahead to chapter 5. Slow down, Lenny, I can't keep up. But he persisted with a logic of his own. Here's the plan. We'll write a treatise. Here's the plan. We'll write a treatise on the rights of students, and with the money earned, we'll buy these artists, Fieldis, Moore, and Greaves, minor works by minor painters. By lending them to small museums, their values will inflate, and then we sell and start a franchise. I knew his reputation, fired from Harvard, bewildered students, uncompleted books. But those first flowing days in Sacramento, those synergistic days, we watched him use a roll of tape and scissors to cut and splice my program. The spaceship Earth, the New Age economics, the art of Zen applied to government, it was all there. If things had turned out different, Lenny Ross, you would have been my commerce secretary. A 6-month freeze on wages without a freeze on prices, followed by a year of frozen subsidies, after which we send 1,000 troops to Spain as warning to the sheikhs to drop the price of oil. I'll send the president a memorandum when I've wrapped my piece on Masons. It's full of great ideas. Don't call me anymore, Lenny Ross. I've had about enough of you and all your constant chatter leading nowhere. You can't keep quiet long enough to love me. You touch my thigh, then start to babble economics, then write a sentence down, then phone a friend. Remember I'm in bed and ask me what I think of Bergman's latest flick. I can't take it anymore, Lenny Ross. Genius, ha! Just get it up and keep it up for once. A thermocoupler made of fiberglass, kabuki language representing social graces, venture funds investing in technology. In 5 years' time, the baby boomers will. Stendhal's real name was. Juan Gris merely described what he. Sawmills replacing windmills along the Flemish. You're back home, Lenny. And we'll take care of you. No more taking jobs and quitting 3 months later. No more lying under cars, reciting lectures. You'll rest a while, Lenny, and then you'll see. You'll land a cushy job. Theory of addled value, William Cullen, Randolph, the red-nosed option underlying, Tinto, Ram Das Vodanya, Montana, the Puritan migraine persecution of the cotton mather, tell Jerry my name is Jiminy Carter, Wilson Pickett, the symbol of an angry zero coupon to beat the plowshares into Isaiah Berlin. My voice now, Lenny. My voice, calm, first time in years, looking through the waters of the Capri Motel pool, hearing waves applaud with plastic hands, smelling chlorine smoke, tasting acrid starlight fruit. Jump, Lenny Ross. Remove this yoke of expectation. Jump, Lenny. Jump to freedom. Okay. All right, so